Hi, welcome to Mind Your Business. I am Amma Duncan, founder of the Fabulous Woman Network. I love to support the growth of individuals and organizations through coaching, training, mentoring, events, and pretty much anything that can help us all grow. Mind Your Business is our weekly podcast where we get to share content that supports us so that we can all create wealth and impact people as fabulous children of God. Today on Mind Your Business, I am happy to finally be sharing lessons from Fab Youth Camp. Now, just in case you're new here and you're asking what's Fab Youth Camp, let me tell you. So it's a training and mentoring event that we put together for 100 youths. And we piloted this with the children, the youth of Abuabukesi community, where Fab Ashanti is located. Fab Ashanti is our space where we do events, training. It's a residential event space, basically, that we use for our conferences and events and all that. So this is where we had Fab Youth Camp, the first of its kind this year. So I'm going to briefly tell you more about Fab Youth Camp, and then I will share with you in this episode some of the key lessons that I took away after I had had time to reflect on the different things that happened during the camp.
Why does the United States care about the young people here in Ghana and developing your skills and ability? Well, because we know that you're the future leaders. By 2025, coming up very soon, more than 50% of sub-Saharan Africa will be under the age of 25. Okay, that's a lot, right? So we know it's important for the future that you are engaged and you're prepared to lead because you're the leaders of the future. It's coming up soon.
In week 1 of Fab Youth Camp, it was focused on core life skills, leadership training, entrepreneurship training, and employability, because the whole idea is to learn skills that they can use, practical skills that they can use, for instance, when going to look for a job or at the job, what are some of the skills to exhibit. We also talked about entrepreneurship and even had activities that will encourage us to also look at entrepreneurship as a possibility instead of always going to work for someone. Not that we are saying working for someone is wrong, but we just wanted to expose the youth to the various options. Now, during week 1 as well, we had the career mentoring session, which was amazing. We had about 13 different professionals coming to speak, and share their own experiences in terms of where they currently find themselves, what they are doing, how to get there, what to expect, and things like that. I mean, it was so amazing. I remember by the end of the day, majority of us wanted to go into the Ghana prison service because the lady who spoke about it made it so sweet. But of course, we had IT people, we had engineers and nurses and, different options that really exposed us to the different possibilities in terms of career. We also did our vision boards. The kids were so excited to be able to picture what it was that they wanted to have in future and put it, on their vision boards. And I shared my own strategies of some of the different things that I've been doing over the years since I learned how to do my own vision boards as well. So it was amazing. Yes, week 1 was facilitated by yours truly, Amma Duncan. And at the end of week 1, we had the pitch session. So we started with 100 youth and we needed to narrow it down to 60. So we selected 60 through the pitch competition. We had amazing mentors come through to help us decide on the 60 based on what they had learned. They had to exhibit seriousness and commitment to make it to the next stage, which was the TVER stage. This was weeks 2 and 3. So in weeks 2 and 3, we had the first group had cybersecurity awareness, computer fundamentals, MS Word, Excel, and PowerPoint training. Then the second group also had cybersecurity awareness, but this time with phone, laptop, tablet fixing training. And it was just amazing to watch these young kids do amazing things with laptops and computers and phones. It was just so beautiful. Then the third group in the final week had graphic designing and video editing training. So we had 20 per group for this training. And these trainings were facilitated by Slam Foundation and Rega Wright. Now, on the last day of the third week, which was 3rd September, we had the graduation for the TVET trainees, and it was so beautiful. We had all the campus show us the different things that they've learned in competitions. So we had, for instance, the phone fixing group. They dismantled and assembled CPUs. And then we had another group, those who did the MS Office. They created PowerPoint presentations live right in front of us. And then we had another group designing logos and another group editing videos. And it was so beautiful as they displayed the different things they had learned. It was inspiring to the rest of us, the parents and others who came to support. It was just beautiful. The most outstanding camper went to a woman who is the mother of a toddler. Now, this child, throughout the training program, was always poking around things. He must have been maybe 1.5 years or so, but he's very, all over the place, poking through things, getting into pots and coming out. And it was so beautiful to watch the mom stay focused, no matter what. Sometimes she would take the baby, carry him on her back, as she pursued. She didn't know how to use the laptops well, but she was so focused, nothing would stop her. Sometimes you see her breastfeeding and still clicking and double clicking. It was just so amazing. So at the end of the day, she won something. We had other people also winning nice things, which was really, really beautiful. Now, as I watched from week 1 to 3, or observed what was happening from week 1, where we took the campus from and what they learned and what they were able to produce, I was just amazed. I had this kind of out-of-body experience where I was just in awe. I'm thinking, oh my God, see how immersed they were in the learning, how they were soaking it in and asking questions and doing things. Fab Youth Camp is a 5-month program. So the first 3 weeks were the most intense, where we had the training sessions. From September to December, we are doing monthly mentoring sessions where we'll have different mentors passing through to teach and advise on different things like sexual, reproductive health and grooming and all these other different skills. Most importantly, we want to do this so that we can also follow up on their progress. We don't want to lose them. We want to really, harvest the relationships we've started or we've formed with these youth.
From the first week, I learned about networking. That's the major thing I learned.
More importantly, I've learned that I should utilize my passion to create more income.
In week 2, I'm having a course on graphic design and video editing. But just today, I'm able to make a logo. I'm able to design an art, which is just my first day.
We were able to make about 2 popular logos, Nike and then Adidas. And from what we learned, I think I'll be able to make some few for other people or perhaps myself.
How I will apply what I've learned is that now I've been able to learn a skill that will fetch me money, a skill that will help me in the future. So I'm going to use that skill to also teach others and also to make more money for myself. Thank you.
I remember as we were going through the first few weeks and I was just observing the things that were happening. I had this sort of out-of-body experience, not once, not twice, a few times, where I was in awe, observing how the kids were so immersed and soaking things in and asking questions. I remember, for instance, one of the mentors saying that when he was also a child, some people came over to his school and had a mentorship session with him, and that's how he had the he was exposed to engineering, and he also started dreaming. And I kept thinking, oh my God, if I had given up, this wouldn't have happened. Imagine what someone here can take today and also use it, and in future say it's because of that camp. And you know, it all started with a tiny step. First of all, saying that, okay, this is something we want to do. And even though we've faced some setbacks, we will still take the step. We will write that proposal. Just that tiny step was able to get us to these other places. And as I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? First lesson, hands down. When God lays something on your heart, just do it. Take that step. So that's my first lesson from Fab Youth Camp. This is just, if you are sitting on something, an idea or something, God is asking you to do something, forget everything. Or as I like to say, forget everything and just take that step. During the camp, someone asked me, what was the inspiration behind Fab Youth Camp? Of course, the Fabulous Woman Network, as even the name implies, we focus on women, and we've been doing that for the past 7 years or so. However, I have always personally been passionate about youth. I have done a lot of mentoring activities involving youth. I've spoken at KNUST several times. I have multiple mentees from KNUST, that's Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. I have done many schools and churches, I've done youth, and I have a lot of mentees who are youth. And so this is something we've been doing, but more in support of other organizations and not on our own. I've always wanted to do a mentorship program for youth. I even had a name for it years ago called the Fabulous Woman Mentors. You know, we tried to formalize the whole project, the Fabulous Woman Mentors, and it didn't go well. So we sort of not shelved it, but just put it on the back burner for now while we worked on other things. And then we had a few opportunities to apply for funding to formalize it again, which we got a no. So yes, it's been quite a ride. But finally, by God's grace, we got a yes from the American Embassy, from the Embassy of the United States. Now, when I think about it, the timing was actually perfect. All those times we had a no or things didn't work out, I feel like we were not really ready. Now that in hindsight, we were not ready. You know, things like even adding the TVET bit has been a game changer, you know, because in my mind, when we started, it was going to be more of mentoring, but we didn't really have the training bit. But now see all these people who can now fix phones, these 20 people, even if it's 10 of them who took it seriously, they have an additional skill that is actually able to make them money directly. So I am happy, even though in the moments when I was getting the no, it was not a funny joke. Now in hindsight, I'm happy that we went through this process to get here, because we are better equipped. We knew how to put together the proposal in a better way. It was more convincing. Even I sat back and thought that, oh no, this is really a good thing. You get what I mean? So the lesson here for me is God's timing is really the best. Now, let me say it again, that in the moment when the thing is not happening and when there's the frustration and the doors are being banged in your face, no and all that, it is painful. It is painful. But really, God's time is the best. When He's ready and He gives it to you, it is really, 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 really better. And so, if you're listening to me or if you're watching me today, just know this, whatever it is that you're waiting for and it's not coming, in its due time, it will come, and it will be better than the time that you wished for it and didn't get it. So far I've shared 2 lessons. The first one is take that tiny step. The second one, God's time is the best. Now the third lesson, before the camp started, I think when we started advertising it publicly, somebody reached out to me via WhatsApp, and I glossed over the message because honestly I was quite busy and I think a few things slipped through. And then a few days later, a trusted brother and friend reached out and said, this person is trying to get your attention. Listen to him. So I paid attention to him, and apparently he made these awesome bags and he wanted to donate some to us. I was like, really? He wanted to donate it freely to the camp. I was a bit surprised. And then he introduced himself as someone who had been a participant in another program, a similar program that I was one of the facilitators. And so this was his way of giving back to the participants. So he actually made these fabulous bags. Eventually, we even purchased some as gifts. He made 20 bags, came all the way to Fab Ashanti and gave them out to us. And then when I gave him the mic to speak to the participants, he encouraged them. He told them how he had also been a participant in a similar event. He had used the content that he had learned and he was doing well in business. And this was his way of giving back to the youth. And then he encouraged them to also give back. Now, this was after we had a wild conversation about volunteerism and everything. So I feel like it was just perfect the way he came in and talked about giving back or paying it forward, as some people will say. And I was just standing there and imagining, these are 100 campers. Imagine if 50 of them come back to give back or pay it forward in another way. How much better things will be. It was just really beautiful. And as I kept reflecting, I was like, oh my God, just that one tiny step can have multiple ripple effects. So the lesson for me is that tiny step that I talked about in lesson 1, it can have multiple ripple effects. Now, my 4th lesson has to do with the team. Hands down, the team. Oh my goodness. One of the best things, I don't know how God laid this on my heart, but one of the best decisions we made was to include local community members in Abuapokesi in the volunteers group, or the group that really made this happen. Of course, I have my own staff, and usually we would invite some other people in the Fabulous Woman Network to serve as volunteers. We had amazing people, but including locals, key persons, made our job way easier. They were supportive, especially in recruiting and getting us the participants. Yes, my own team supported, but they played a huge role. And there were so many things that I just stepped back and I allowed them to do. We had moments where we had to make decisions about how to move forward. We had different ideas. Even I had different ideas, and I put it on the table. Some of the team members were like, no, let's try it this way. And we allowed it to happen, and it was just perfect. And as I reflected on the role that the team played, look, there were days that I had to stay away from camp. I had to go work because, sister also needs to make money. So I needed to travel briefly and then go and work. My team made all the preparations so that graduation day will go effortlessly. So as I reflected on the team that God just helped us put together, it's like, oh my God, you know what? It's good to ask for help. All I had to do was ask. And these people willingly dropped everything. The mentors, the judges, the trainers, they dropped everything. Even the caterers, everyone, photographers, everyone came in together to make this happen. So I always say this, that Amma Duncan is not one human being, one bald-headed with now growing hair. No. Amma Duncan is a group of people, it's a whole village that makes things happen. And I feel so grateful. So this lesson of asking for help. Now, I have been the kind of person that, it's funny, there are days or there are moments where asking for help comes easy to me, but sometimes it's hard, especially when it has to do with work. Sometimes it's hard. But I'm learning constantly. Please, there's power in asking for help. Just ask. Sometimes I worry. I worry that, what if I ask for the help and I can't afford it, and all these things that I worry about. It doesn't even matter, because at the end of the day, When I ask, I get the quality help. And I am able to, if not even compensate, give something else. And you know, the beautiful thing about volunteers too is sometimes they are happy to do it even if you don't give them anything. They are very, very happy to support. And so I'm really happy that I took the step to ask for the help, and I asked for the right kind of help. And I'm so grateful that I received the help. So as I said, Fab Youth Camp continues until December. Each month, we're going to have one mentoring session with the campus, and they're already excited about coming for the next one in September. So of course, I'll keep you posted as much as possible. Even the career mentoring sessions, we are looking to share some of the content with you, those who are not present, so you can also share with other people who will benefit. Now, I just want to say thank you to these amazing organizations and individuals who supported us. First, the Embassy of the United States of America. That yes they gave us made it possible for the first version of Fab Youth Camp to happen. Slam Foundation, oh my goodness, I am so grateful. And the team they sent, they are such passionate trainers. It was so, I'm a trainer, and to observe others train so passionately, it was just so beautiful. I just enjoyed watching how they give, like they just give from their heart. You can see that these people are born trainers. It was beautiful. Rega Wright took them through graphic designing and video editing. The output was just so beautiful. I am so grateful. Vero, Being Photography, this team is always there. Rain or shine, they will send you someone to cover the event. So thank you so much, Vero, Being Photography. To all our career mentors, some of them drove all the way from Accra just for this. Some came from New Edubiase and different places. Thank you so much. Our judges, some came from Bekwai and other places just to come support us. Thank you. My mastermind group, when I was, I was blocked in decision making, I would go to them and I would ask questions and they would ask me questions, and together they helped me come, polish the concept a bit. Thank you. And then my family members, people come for our events and they see my family members. My mom will be there, my husband, my children, cousins, in-laws, all supportive, helping make this happen. I am so grateful to all these people. Also to the leaders and people of Apopokese. We came and you accepted us. You accepted this concept. You didn't know us from anywhere, but you still accepted us. Thank you so much for trusting us, especially with your fabulous children. And then, of course, the campus. Oh, my goodness. The trainers kept talking about the campus. One group of trainers were like, you know what? We've been around Ghana doing training, but these people are different. They are so smart. They are so brilliant. I am so proud of all the campus. Thank you so much. They would come. There were times they came in at 5:30 a.m. because they wanted to be first and get the first person to come award. It was just really nice. And then, of course, to our team, our staff, and our volunteers, thank you all for together making this a fabulous event. And then finally, to God upstairs, thank you for choosing us. Thank you for choosing us to be the medium to reach these fabulous children. Thank you so much. This is a blessing I personally don't take for granted. I could be doing anything else, and then you said, this is what I want you to do, Amma. God, I am so grateful because I enjoy it. Oh my goodness. So, where will the next Fab Youth Camp be? I have no idea. But I trust God. These days, my favorite new mantra is God has a plan and He's revealing it to me. So anytime I start to stress about something that I need to know and it's not coming, I'm like, no. God has a plan and He's revealing it to me. So I don't know where or when the next one will be, but I definitely know that God has a plan and He's revealing it to me. And as He reveals, we will take the steps, trusting that He will lead us to the expected end. So until the next time, remember the 4 lessons I have shared with you. Take the tiny step, God's timing is really the best. That tiny step will have a huge multiple or huge ripple effect, and then finally ask for help. Until the next time where we come your way with another episode of Mind Your Business, it's ta, toodles, bye.